Inkies, I hope you are well. Today I was going to work in my Hobonichi, but when I was showing these off in my wrap-up video, I really want to play with these. So I'm going to do a video about how I'll play with my collage sheets this month. I don't think I've actually done that as a video, but I feel these are my favorites at the moment. I'm loving these hard and I want to use them in as many ways as possible. I don't know if I'll make new collages out of things. Maybe I'll rework some of these characters. I don't know. Let's go with the flow. It's Friday. I'm feeling like I should have a play and have some fun. I know I want to make more postcards because I know they were such a huge hit. They're down here. Oh, can I reach them? Can I? I do want to make more postcards. I do need to send these out because now that you guys have like photocopies of them, it's time for these to get their stamps and grow some wings. And I want to make some more postcards because I just think they're cool and they make awesome things for collage sheets for next month. And I want to make rainbow stuff like all day, every day. I may even work in my tiny journal. Who knows? But we're going to work with the collage sheets and see what I make with them. I hope you guys are enjoying the collage sheets. They seem to go down really well, which is always happy for me. But I'm going to work it out. I want to play. I want to see how and why and what. Maybe I'll make some fun tip-ins. Maybe I'll make some tip-in stuff. And then because you guys already have these images, unless they're wildly different, I could use that for Etsy collage stuff. Trying to kill all, I don't want to kill birds. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. Is that it? Normally I'm working harder and not smarter. But today I want to be smart and I want to play with rainbows. I want to make postcards. I want to do all the things. So we'll see what we're going to do. First, I have to go and quickly edit all the videos that I just quickly did with the Choose Your Own Adventure and the monthly chat. I need to quickly edit those and then I need to sit down and make things with these and get your number 6 for you and give you the banners for these. Oh, so much things to do, so many things. But I want to have a play and I want to have some fun, and collage sheets are done and dusted. I can breathe. Actually, these weren't hard this month. I was literally making stuff for myself for the first time in ages, and literally everything I love, and that's probably why I want to make all the things. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make all the things and you're going to come along with me. Right, I have a whole heap of random stuff, including half my lunch on my desk. Good job. I have my postcards that I've got here as well if I decide to go down the postcard route. I also have like bits of watercolor paper that have obviously just been thrown into my drawer of, you know, all the things. I have bits of painted paper. I have these that I created back in 2017 for collage sheets when I first launched the dates, and I did black and white versions and I did color versions, so that was quite a long time ago on Patreon. But I've always got the original sort of floating around, so I think I might just cover them up and use them as tip-in backgrounds because they are a bit not useless to me. I could literally peel off the dates on them, but it's easy enough for me to have them half started and then just cover them up. So that is all good. They've all been created using all my own stuff except for some washi tape here, which I stopped doing because as I get more and more bigger, I have companies sort of coming at me for copyright and stuff like that. Well, I don't have it now, but I would if I started using washi tape and printed papers from everyone else and then using them to create printables, if you get what I mean. So you got to be very careful with these sorts of things. I also have a tag that I obviously started as well. Again, I'd have to completely morph this section because it's a Jane paper. So I'd have to make sure that the sections on here that are part of washi tape or someone else's creativity, I would have to completely alter beyond recognition for me to feel safe in using those if they become a printed printable for you guys. So I've collected like a random assortment of like tea-dyed papers, some of the photos from the, what do you call it? The last lot of postcards. So I have the cherry blossom, bits and pieces, more tea-dye paper. I have some acetate. I have a few bits of acetate sort of floating around, more than a few. I have a heap that I could use. I want to use this guy. He's actually one of my very favorite things I've ever created, and I have him on acetate, so I thought I might pull him out. I've got various bits of colored paper that I have sort of floating around, backgrounds and things from other collage sheets. painted papers, and I think this is just a card. Thought about making 3x4 little tip-ins. So I always gather support stuff as well, because I obviously want to focus on using as much of the collage sheets as possible, but I know that that's going to be hard, especially when you guys already have these sorts of things. And if I want to make postcards and things like that, I need to step up my game and morph them enough and have altering bits and pieces that are just sort of sitting around. I seem to have misplaced my scissors, because I feel like I'm forever hunting for my scissors, and I have multiple pairs, like large and small of the Tim Holtz ones. The small ones have been MIA for a good 6 months. The large ones I only recently found, and now they're missing as well. I also have a whole heap of pink handled scissors, which seem to just go missing as well. So I need to go have a look-see for some scissors and cut some of these things off camera, because I'm not going to bore you with the footage of me cutting things. Oh man, I'm so in love with this. This is going to be a background of, I'm just going to literally put it on a postcard, put a stamp on it, and just say, admire this background. No, I'm really not. But I love this so much. Hold on, let me see. You can see there, it's my background on my phone. That's how much I like it. So yeah, there's that. And I reckon I could probably take some of these things out of this. Wouldn't that be like postcard inception, creating postcards from other postcards? And this follows along the vein of reimagining things that you've already done, taking old artworks and using them and transforming them. And I learned a lot of that sort of skill set from the lovely Tisha Moore. She's so good at that, taking her old artwork, cutting it all up and remaking it and adding in new things and creating something completely different. And she's a wizard with that. She's a wizard, Harry. But she is awesome at that, and she's one of my very favorite collage artists. I absolutely adore everything that woman does. So I've got all these heads I can use as well. So I've got lots of fun things to play with to make my postcards. I think I'll probably make 2 again. Where did I put those cards? Here, I think they're here. These came from the stationery selection box. Nope, that's not what I'm... This is what happens. Then they go missing, and then I don't know where anything is. Where are they? I know they're here somewhere. Because I literally just had them. I even showed you. Are they here? Yeah, they've gone rogue, guys. Ugh. So these ones came with the stationery selection box a couple of months ago, and they have, like, I think they're watercolor paper. They're a bit thin, but it means that they'll be good for collage because they won't bulk up like crazy. The ones that I did the original postcards on, like these ones, the postcard itself was heaps thick because it already had a design on them. So they're like little bricks. So they're really, really thick. Whereas these will be nice once they're all collaged and everything. So I've got those. I just got lots of odds and ends sort of floating around my desk. And I think it's time I stop chatting. But I just like to tell you sort of the process as I get ready to do something like this. I get out a whole heap of odds and ends that I find that I'm drawn to, that I like the way they look. I can see things that are, you know, could work, could not work, pulling things apart. All that sort of stuff. There's no reason why I have to do a creature-based postcard. I can definitely go along the route of just aesthetically pleasing. I could do an Instagram-worthy postcard where everything is beautiful and clean and beautiful, but we won't because that's not who I am. But there's so many cool things that we can make and do with our postcards. I love collage. It makes me happy. And because it's Friday, I wanted to do something, especially with the collage sheets, that made me happy creating them. And I know that you guys enjoy watching me transform everything. So I need to go find a pair of scissors in my house somewhere. And I also need to get my matte medium out and my glue stick out because that will be what I use. Move everything off the desk so I've got some space to work with, and put on some music or a Netflix show and just enjoy the process. I'll probably come in and out, or I'll just do a voiceover. We'll see. If I get really into the zone, it'll end up being a voiceover because sometimes I get so into it I forget to actually stop and chat. But we shall see. We shall see. So let's get started, guys. I wanted so badly to use my crazy rainbow stuff, but I seem to have gotten off track, and the characters I wanted to create just did not suit that rainbow background. So I'm going to make a second one in the studio vlog because I really wanted to work out exactly what I wanted to do, and I did so many tweaks and trying to work out what worked and what didn't work. I cut things off camera to stop with like time wasting, and I loved the look of this guy, a little creature with the legs turned into a hat of the other creature, and I liked playing with those sort of elements and trying to find how they fit together. And I really enjoy collage because of the creative freedom it just gives me so much joy. So if you're feeling like you're in a bit of a creative rut, my only advice is to do something that brings you absolute joy. It doesn't matter if you do it all the time, it doesn't matter if you're sick of it. If it's something that really brings you joy and can help you just zone out, my advice when in a creative rut is to sit down and do that thing. Chase that thing that brings you happiness, and it could be painting background pages, it could be sketching, it could be collage, it could literally be Zentangle, doodling, you name it. If it brings you joy, do that and keep doing that, and then you'll slowly get that momentum, that creative momentum that we're always chasing. And it's not very often that I get creative ruddy, but especially when I get sick or I have a few issues at home, it kind of just drains all the creativity out of me. So I did spend a lot of February in that awful state, because we had some behind the scenes family issues, and so my creativity just felt like it was draining out of me and not in a good way. And so something that I love to do and I love to turn to is collage, and I was so excited about the collage sheets this month. I don't know why or what sort, maybe it's all the rainbows, but all I wanted to do, I could feel my fingers itching to want to collage. So I thought, why not chase that bliss? Everyone's talking about chasing your bliss. This is my bliss. And when I have had such a crappy month, I want to chase the bliss and chase it down crazy hard. So I decided that collage was happening today instead of me trying to push myself to create a Hobonichi page. Sometimes I just don't have the energy to sort of perform on camera with my hobo, and I get a lot of fear and anxiety linked to my Hobonichi, and I think I just need to get a few more pages under my belt off camera to give me that momentum for that medium. But collage, I can jump in and out of collage like no man's business. I'm always happy, I'm confident no matter what, and I find that I can sort of put anything really together and be happy. I mean, it takes me a while to get to those places, but collage, I can't seem to ever hate it. I love the challenge that it brings, and I love just trying to make something from nothing. I love bringing scraps together. So definitely, if you're feeling just a bit down in the dumps creatively, chase your bliss, do what makes you happy, and then the rest will come and follow when you're in your zone.
The stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away, show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside?
You notice as I glue things down, I'm continually putting those elements back onto the page. I take them off, I add something else, I put them back on. And it may seem redundant, it may seem silly, but this is my process to make sure that what I'm doing still works once I've placed everything down. I continually add to it, and there's a little bit of uncertainty when it came to this little guy. I couldn't work out exactly how I wanted it to go, and I was dealing with a smaller space than I wanted to, and I do end up switching my postcard to the larger ones, the Harry Potter ones. I finally found them, and I knew that there's so much more I wanted to create with this, but I didn't have the room, and I felt like I was just fighting against the constraints of the smaller postcard. But even this is something that I always do. I'm always placing those pieces back together. Do they make sense? Do they look good? Will they interact with each other? If I add this, does it still look good? These are the sorts of things that I ask myself over and over. I do alternate pieces to see if something would look better, or whether I'm ignoring something that could look better because I'm trying so hard to make something else. And you can see that I'm just sort of looking at items going, does this head look better? What if I gave her a different eye? Does that change things? And I just continually work and try and figure out what could possibly change the look enough for me to be happy with a collage piece. I want to morph things, and this is definitely the fun part of Frankensteining all your collage bits and pieces together.
This is a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live.
Even though this is sped up only 2 times fast, I still feel like I'm going super slow, and that is because I am trying to visualize where I want this postcard to go. There are some times when a collage itself can come to me so super easily, and it's done and dusted very quickly, but this was not one of those instances. I wanted to add as much as I could in such a small space, and I love adding all the elements that I possibly can, and so I kept trying to make things happen, and I tried to get a second creature going. I do get there in the end, but it does take me quite a while to work out exactly what I'm trying to do. And I really like the pieces that came from the other postcards, the sort of block rock things, what would you call them, the stones, anyway, the stuff with the leafy stuff on it. I actually want to make a border of those. I think that'll be really cool digitally, because I really like how they actually look on their own. Those guys look really cool as little elements themselves, so I might make some of those. This is what happens. I sit here and watch these back as I'm doing the voiceover, and I see those elements on that postcard and think they would make really cool borders, like scalloped borders for digital stuff. Whew, my brain is forever running on that mouse treadmill, basically. I do start mixing some elements off to the side, and I really liked where it was going, and I can't believe I stopped working on this. I must have pushed it to the side, and because I didn't glue anything down, I wasn't quite finished with it, so I will probably attempt playing that one in the studio vlog, because I think I was trying to make sort of like a fairy or an elf, and that's what happens sometimes when I have a lot of pieces on the table. I kind of get lost, and if I don't glue anything down, then the idea sort of goes away. And as you can see there, that little red nose completely changed it changes in the final piece, and now that I'm looking at it as I'm editing, I'm like, why didn't I keep that nose? But it must have been sort of pushed to the side as I was trying to work, and when I left my desk to come back, I obviously had moved things around and completely forgot. But I guess that's the whole point of collage. There are so many bits and pieces that fit together. You can customize and change at a moment's notice, and something that looks great can also look great a completely different way. It's limitless, and I think this is why I love digital collage as well, because once you can use the elements over and over and over again, whereas if you're doing a traditional piece, once you glue it down, you don't have that piece anymore unless it's a collage sheet that you can reprint over and over. And thankfully a lot of these are collage sheets, because I massacred a face that I absolutely loved, so I'm gonna have to reprint a few pages from the collage sheets so I can have them. I like where this is headed, and I like where it's going. Before I sort of glue things down, I want to do a bit more to the background. It's a bit bare at the moment, so I think I might add some of my acrylic gouaches to the background and just sort of finger paint some things in there. I was considering maybe I could make some extend like cherry blossoms out from here. The only thing that I'm worried about is that the postcard itself is quite small, and I'm trying to find my Harry Potter ones that I was using in the first video, because they're a little bit larger. So if I can find those, I'll have a bit more room to play with, but if not, I'll just keep going. And this is, I like how cute this is all together so far. So I need to work out what I want to do with that, but I'm very much enjoying that. I have cut up quite a few of my favorite pieces. I'm going to have to do a couple of reprints, I think, because I feel like I've cut some of my favorite bits up that I wanted to keep together, but that's the beauty of collage sheets. You can reprint them over and over and over. I did have the rainbow background in the background, but I thought it was just too much color. But I do want to do a postcard with this in the background in some way, shape or form, because I'm obsessed with it. I didn't get out my gouaches. I got out my fluid acrylics because I hadn't touched them in forever, and I was like, well, I better use these because I've had them for quite a long time. I actually despise and hate the background that I created. It looks like a big pile of cat vomit, and I completely cover it up. So you could probably skip past this because I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was trying to be creative but not, and failing, and some of my colors weren't working, so I had to use different colors than what I normally would. And I don't know, I hated it so much that I literally covered it up. Once it had dried, I got my collage elements and just went, yeah, no. And for some reason my neon pink has gone all watery and gross, and I was like, ugh, I don't know, I hate looking at it. Close your eyes, just skip past it. You don't need to see this train wreck, people. Yeah, I don't know why I decided that blue would look good there. I think I put it down. I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to fix this? I can feel my brain going, I'm making ugly, and I have a little bit of shit touch right now. I need to get up and walk away. But no, I keep making splotches because I think it's going to fix itself. Yeah, there we go. There's the splotches. They're crap. Move on. Time to do some damage control. I literally sit down, I walked away because I was like, I need to take a moment of silence in another room for the ugliness that I just created on camera. I could have deleted it, but I'm leaving it up to show you that even I make ugly, heinous messes that are just, oh, they're so awful. So I came back in, I sat down, I grabbed some of the pieces that I worked on the smaller postcard and ripped them off, because you know how awesome a gluer I am. My stuff came off pretty easily. And then I start gluing pieces down. So I've literally, in 4 steps, covered that crime against creativity. And I start working with all my bits and pieces. And it's all a bit of the same. I start working with the collage elements and start layering them down. I start with my little pussy hat girl that I love these little creatures from the collage sheets. I don't know, I can't remember which month it was. I want to say maybe February, maybe? I'm not quite sure, but I love it nonetheless. And I found it floating around on my desk and I was like, I can adopt you into this postcard. So he jumped on to behind the trees, and so that was his home. And now I'm just trying to make those pieces work. And this is when I glue down certain elements and leave the edges not glued so that I can tuck things under them. And that's when I know that I'm getting to the point where I want to start finalizing things. I do start adding glue. And you can see that that little creature has his middle glued down, but all around him I can still tuck those elements in so that I can get them into a spot that I'm happy, and then I start gluing them down completely. It just helps them not fly away when I'm trying to make things, you know, stay and work out exactly what I want to do. So that's always been my tip, is to half glue them down and then start tucking things in behind it as a way to sort of audition. And I think this is where I realized that my face didn't look quite right. And then I couldn't figure out how my face went, because I'd obviously made that disgusting background, pushed all my elements to the side, and completely forgot what I was doing. Yes, this is one of those days where I think I was getting to the end of my creative flow. I had done a million things on Friday and my brain was like, not computing, you need to have a nap. But no, have to get all the things done.
Take on me, I'm worth your wide. Honestly, I'm running a bit wide. Be brave, we don't need far too much. Just stay brave beside me. Happy days, running on the open fields.
So I'm going to leave the voiceover bit now, because I feel like if I try and keep talking, I may just talk myself into a hole. But I want you to enjoy the rest of it. I do come and do an outro and have a little chat about it. But I hope that my collage process is still intriguing to you guys. Even when I'm not making creative masterpieces, I still really enjoy how this came out. And it did take a complete turn that I wasn't expecting with one of the creatures. And I think that's the beauty of collage, is that you can still surprise yourself even when you're the artist. You can put something down and it could have been an accident, and then it completely changes how you see that element. It is such a choose your own adventure with collage. It is just the best kind of fun, and I always have a smile on my face when I'm collaging. So definitely find what makes you smile when you're creating it, and do that and do that and do that until you get that confidence back in your step and back in your actions and your mannerisms, and it helps reignite that passion. You need to chase down passion in order to build you up to be ready to make mistakes again and to make those learning moments count.
It's the same old story being told inside my head. I'm too shy to straighten up my bones and be a man. time's running out, so take the chance. Make a move, 'cause the store won't stay open till the end. Won't you tear my world apart? 'Cause I know I need a start to let you in. When it's over, I will see what I've done. Let it go too soon. Oh, I'll be stronger if you just step right in. 'Cause I need a start to let you in. Days pass and I'm still the same inside my head. And I can't stop thinking about what you said. I gotta tear my wall apart. It's the only way to start to let you in. When it's over, I will see what I've done. Letting go too soon. Oh, I'll be stronger if you just step right in. 'Cause I need a start to let you in.
Hello, emotions. Hello again. As every ocean come as rain. I know my circles. I know my name. Another sequel is on the way. Oh, oh, my love, reform and rise to be so free. In time we seize infinity. Growing love. Hello, my borders. Hello again. You're out of order. I'm out of pain. We're closing circles. We got no end. Another sequel about to land. Oh, oh, my love, reform and rise to be so free. In time we seize infinity. Growing love. be coming home, and you'll be going strong. And I know there is a reason. Now we're ready to be whole. Yeah, ready to be whole. And I'll be coming home, and you'll be going strong. My love, infinity. And I'll be coming home. This is walk me in the morning sun. Tell me I'm a lucky one. I'm riding on the wave of an ocean that I could be brave. Is there anything good on the radio? Turn it up loud and let me know how it used to be before anyone heard of you and me. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great. Running out of town just to celebrate. The fortune's here to stay. A one-way ticket to a better day. A rocking chair and a glass of wine. In the shade of a tree and I'm feeling fine. There's not a lot to ask when life is going by so fast. One breath away. Step up and say, hold on to what is real. The love you feel is like water in a glass. Don't try to separate the ones you hate from the ones that you don't know. 'Cause there's a part of you that never could let go. I'm chasing shadows around the place. It shouldn't take long now in any case. As long as there is light, pretending I could stay the night. One breath away. Step up and say, hold on to what is real. The love you feel is like water in a glass. Don't try to separate the ones you hate from the ones that you don't know.
I said I would work on two, but time is escaping me, especially when I filmed the other videos this morning, the really long Nook chat and everything. Time is not on my side. I have to go get my minions and do the homework route. High school homework, man, is no joke. I feel like I forgot all about it, like now that I'm a mum, I don't remember having so much homework, but anyway, I'm on English duty, so I'm going to be helping with Matilda. So this is the postcard. I think it's quite cute. I love that I can turn her into a bird. I probably would spend a bit more time doing some line work on it, maybe up in here, or maybe I'll scan it and digitally do it so I can work out what I want to add. There's not that much room, but I really enjoy how it looks, and I like the whole little Inky tribe and putting the little pussy hat in there because I love those things so much. Every time I draw them, I get more and more in love with them. I think I probably want to define some of this around here somewhere and maybe put in some yellow. I think I was thinking about putting in some yellow pencil. Let's see. Not that I have much time before I gotta run out the door. But I was making sure that I got like into the crevices because the pencil would just rub away the uni pen fine line. And oh, they're so sharp, it's great. Electric sharpener for the win! But I will make the second postcard in the studio vlog for you guys because I do want to continue creating, but I am way out of time. Time got away from me today. I talked way too much in the Nook chat than I was expecting, and then I now have to quickly go and edit the collage sheet bits and pieces for you guys and start working on that. See, this is what happens. I start fiddling and fussing, and I want to just add more and more things to stuff. I'm missing my hot pink paint marker. I can't find it. I keep looking for it. And I was going to do some cherry blossoms up in the top, but there's just no room. And obviously my pink paint marker, which is what I would have done the cherry blossoms with, is missing. I have no clue. It's not like this one, but it's similar. But oh, it's a bit... For some reason they're not being as opaque as I like, and I think my Sharpie one may be better, but I don't know where it's gone. I have like a pale... I really want to see what you guys do. I want to do a really crazy rainbow one, and I think for the studio vlog I'm going to do that because I really want to incorporate like the backgrounds and things. And when I was cleaning up, I saw my little rainbow girl head. There's so many things that I want to do, but I want to do a crazy sort of ridiculous rainbow one. I tried to put the house on there off camera, but it was just slightly too big. I think it'd be cute to have it in the background or in the hills or something. I tried a few things, but because of the angles of everything, it was just a little bit too hard. But I think she's quite cute. I like how she turned out. I just want to add a few more bits and pieces, maybe some black line work digitally, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if I put it into the collage sheet. Sorry, my brain is moving at a million miles a minute, and I am gonna run out the door and quickly go grab my kids because I've got about 7 minutes before the bell rings. So I hope you have a fantastic weekend, guys. Thank you so much for all the love on the Studio Nook chat and all the posts and the choose your own adventure. I can't believe people really want to see that again. I thought people were tired of it, so it makes me happy to hear that these things are going to make a comeback. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.